Hello, let's play Wordle for Friday, August 14th. Let's play. Okay. Yesterday we spun the wheel and it said to start with geese. Ooh, okay. So we learned something very interesting about E's, which is that there is one E and there is two E's, but not three E's. Wasn't expecting to say that today. All right, so it's GE something something E. What the heck? What does this? It's not immediately popping into my head here. I may have to try some letters. Is it GEA? Somehow geep, geep. I don't think so. Huh. G. Is there another vowel, or is it like Goethe? Why is this so hard? Um, there's just so many options left, and it's unfortunately my brain's not going. It's that word, like it sometimes does. Is there another G? Gedge? Gente? Geld? I don't think so. Get. Maybe it's a double letter. Another double letter. Get. No, Gef. Gaff is a word, but not Gef. Or Jeff. I should realize the G could be G or J when I think about them. Gel. Like, what is this? Gen. Okay, I don't think it's a double letter. Let's look at all the vowels. GEU. GUE has like gas, but GEU I don't think has anything. GEI. Like what? No. GEO? Geode? Ooh, I found a word. Geode. And that was it. Wow, is that two twos in a row? I don't think that's ever happened to me to get two twos in a row. This one took a little bit longer. But yeah, geese was a great starting word today. Okay. Very lucky. I'm curious if there were other words I could have found. And we will find out in the analysis. But first, oh shoot, I have to. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, it loaded. I was like, what's going on with the wheel? All right, we're gonna spin the wheel and see what tomorrow's starting word is. Doubt, suggested by Dan. Some of you may doubt today's solve. I don't know. The wheel picked geese yesterday. What am I supposed to do? Let's let's check the bot. See if geode was the only option. Okay, there were three options, and I geode was the first I found. Okay, so both were GEN, genie and genre. Well, they would have been better guesses, but I didn't see them. I don't think I'd gone to the let's just try GEN. So luckily I hadn't, I guess. But I mean, worst case scenario, like, okay, there were some unlikelies, but considering the answers, I would have done something like genie or genre, and then I'd still be struggling, and then find geode, and it would be a 3. So I don't know, got lucky with the 2, but the skill score is going to be lower. Now unlikelies are gear, Gene or Gene, Gerb, Gerald, and Jern. Okay. Well, luckily I didn't just try random things also, because I could have come up with those. All right. Now, geese can lose on 2 situations. We should talk about that. So the first situation is yellow S, green E here. Let's see if we can figure out. Maybe it's the starts with S, ends with E type trap. Yeah, it is. Like share, store, shame, shave. A lot of SHA blank E words. Too late to have covered that. And then the other option to lose on is starting with G ending in E. So if you don't know the second letter is E, then you've got GRA blank E that you're losing on, or something similar. All right, Well, what would it's? Oh, well, we know what its solve would have been. It would have picked genie or genre and then gotten geode after that. Okay, so let's look at least. Least has 92 answers left. Clearly, geese is a better starting word, right? Defer checks double E, and it is double E, which is very handy. I've noticed the bot, I mean, I've talked about this before, but if you're newer, I've noticed the bot, if you have a singular E or a singular T in your starting word, it does tend to check for double on the second follow up, on the first follow up, on the second guess. It's checking wedge here. That makes a whole lot of sense with what we see. I wonder why wedge is better than hedge in this case. It's only slightly better. Oh, because there's a weedy. There's only 5 answers left. And so starting with W makes sense because they get each other. It's perfect, actually. So wedge guarantees geode afterwards. So it gets a 4. And then steel is going to have the E, but it's yellow. And in this case, because we haven't placed this E, I think this is the, this counters what I just said, but it's worried about ER. So it's not going to do double E. It's trying to get the consonants that are helpful for ER. So it's going to go coned. And from there are 6 words left. And doing drove, erode, or geode are all good enough to guarantee the answer. And so geode would be lucky getting in 3, but 2 out of 3 times it's going to pick something like drove and get geode in 4. Okay, adieu is the most common starting word. We have the D and the E. Always, do people and audio people are always very happy when there's a D because it's always limited answer pool. So there's 40 answers left with this. It's going to go drone, very common pattern of that R and E at the end. And after drone, it's only geode. Interesting. That would be a little difficult to think of. Kind of like, I think it would be harder to think of than when I had that GE blank blank E. All right, audio. We have the D and the O. We're going to go world. And then there's 6 words left, but they're not in a great position to be able to distinguish them. But we're going to get lucky because 5 of them start with D and one of them doesn't. And so any word we do starting with D is going to just luck out and get us geode after. So, but the other ones, if it had been any of these other ones, it's problematic, but you don't lose. It's just going to be a high 2.167 guesses left. And this is a filler. Donut is a filler here. Hard mode does let you reuse grays and reuse yellows in the same spot, and it's taking advantage of that. If we switch it to ultra, it's not able to do that, and it'll do something like depot instead, which you can see is 3rd in the list for hard mode. All right, so we're gonna do something like depot geode or donut geode, whatever. All right, and stare, another very common starting word. We got bool, ovine, and then it could go choke geode. So it gets a 4 or a 5. But yeah, that's kind of a long solve there. Pert has the highest chance to get it in 2. It's got a 1 in 77 today, so probably not. It's going to go dense. With that E locked in second, it's going to check for double E here. And then it's hedge and geo. That seems very similar, except we did wedge on the other solve. And then finally, tarps is what the official bot starts with. It's all gray, so we go lodge, tarps lodge, and then geode. A tarp you could think of as a lodge. If you have a big tarp, it's like a lodge. I don't know. I guess not. But that's a good way to remember it if you'd like to. Alrighty. Let's bring back Wordle here. Admire my 2. That was not guaranteed. That was lucky. A better player doesn't get it into, which is a weird thing to think about. And geode's a fun word too. It's pretty rock. I'm sure that's the visual definition. Pretty rock. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're gonna check with the bot. I beat the bot twice. It's a new badge. That's why I haven't seen it before. That was what that pop-up was telling us. Yeah, it gave me a 67 skill. I'm not surprised. That's because the one guess had 67 skill because it wasn't the one to do. All right. It doesn't like geese very much. It's a 51 skill in hard mode. I've seen worse. Hard mode goes down to like 10. Um, okay, so people are doing genie, geode, genre mostly. Some people found gear, gerb. This is like I have no idea what's going on. We're just trying things. So obviously geode has 0. Genre and genie have the 1.1 and 1.2 because you're still in the same situation of just GE ending in E. So if genie and genre were the only two you could think of, and you can't think of geode, you might end up doing one of these uncommon ones still. That's why they're not just 1.0. Even though there's only one answer left, you can still find non-answer words like girl, Gerle, girl. Or is it Jurl? Who knows? All right. It goes Tarp's clone biome evoke geode. That seems much worse than the other solve. Oh well, yeah, because Lodge does way better for geode. All right. Point 2 starting with geode. 1.3, 16.8, 56.8, 87.5, 97.6. People losing on Exode, Diode, Evoke, Glowed. It's always interesting to see how the top things people are losing on are so similar to the word, or how similar it is. All right, well, let's refresh and check with regular mode. Alrighty. Gives me a 66 skill. It's even lower. By 1 or something. So geese is 66 and geode is 66. Interesting. Majority found geode on regular mode. That's interesting. And then genie and genre, like what I was talking about, it's at 1.6, 1.4. Maybe people in regular mode are more likely to resort to just a pure filler if they're completely lost. Like, just lets me just get 5 letters, which is always very helpful if you're stuck. Like, obviously it affects your average, but technically after genie and genre, there was only one answer left. And that should be a 1 for perfect players, but who's perfect, right? Not me. All right, slate groin geode. It's a fun follow-up. All right, point 4. 1.2, 12.5, 45.4, 79.1, 94.4, with most people losing on exode and diode. Yeah, geode is not the easiest word to think of. So you're going to be spamming stuff like exode. Diode is a reasonable word. We got gnome, losing on gnome. I wonder what the situation is. Just starting with G ending in E, and you just in the O in the middle, and you just can't find what to do. Glowed, goose. Should have started with geese instead of doing goose last. All right. Well, how'd you do?